Let's talk about Love is Rage 2 versus Whole Lotta Red, because somebody just said that. What's the exact question, actually? Because I actually hired designers for my blog, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, like, look how clean this shit is. I cannot get over it. Anyway, there was a hot take by a specific person on Twitter that I found, and it said Love is Rage 2 is a better album than Whole Lotta Red. Thoughts? Oh my god. Okay, so recency bias. Since Love is Rage 2 did in fact drop in 2017, your taste changes, and you know, it's just not fresh of mind like Whole Lotta Red is right now, in the fact that everybody rapping on derivatives of Whole Lotta Red type beats in the underground, at least that we listen to. And how can you compare these? I feel like you can compare these because they're very monumental or like influential albums by the two artists. I'd say Love is Rage 2 is Uzi's best cohesive album, whereas Carti, Whole Lotta Red is probably considered his best album objectively, or at least like most, it created the biggest movement. Even though a lot of people were like got influenced by Die Lit, the baby voice and shit, and self-titled kind of with Pierre beats, I don't know, and like the lean ice shit, you know, that one sound that sounds like a tiger to me. Easy W album for Uzi. This is a good question. The thing is, I've actually, my favorite album, if we're talking about like how I felt, because we have to be retrospective here. When Whole Lotta Red dropped, I was very shocked. I think we all were. We're like, what is this? There were some cool songs on there, and then it had to grow on you. And then for a while there, it was amazing. Like nothing, there still is nothing that sounds exactly like this. Bro is literally a fucking vampire. He's Dracula sucking everybody's cock on the mic. Pause. Now, Uzi, Love is Rage 2 has so many bangers on there. It was like, I think there's nobody that can beat prime Uzi. I don't even think Carti has reached the prime of Uzi yet. Carti might be in his prime. He might not have hit his prime yet. But Whole Lotta Red, he's definitely at the peak of, or like the highest that he's ever been if we're comparing to self-titled and Die Lit. We can all admit that Eternal Take, it was a good project, don't get me wrong. Same with Lil Uzi vs. the World 2. It just wasn't as great as Love is Rage, it just wasn't as great as Love is Rage 2. But for now, I think Love is Rage 2 is better than Whole Lotta Red. And I know a lot of people say that I'm like a Carti stan. Believe me, I fuck with my man Carti, but I can be objective here. One, if we're talking numbers, let's back it up just with factual data, even though quality isn't necessarily always designated by numbers. Love is Rage 2 sold, I think, like 170K. Love is Rage 2 first week sales. We all know what Whole Lotta Red sold, 105K. Okay, never mind. So Uzi sold 135K. 28K were pure album sales. So that means that Uzi really only sold 107K. But what did... Wait, Love is Rage 2 moved another 73K units the second week, maybe, is what they're trying to say. Either way, I think Love is Rage 2 has, I don't know, it's just an album that you can always go to. There's a reason that Uzi, all of his most popular songs on his Spotify, like the hottest songs, are from Love is Rage 2. In fact, 20 Minutes, his hottest song right now is from the deluxe. It just has like a certain vibe to it. But again, Whole Lotta Red does too as well. Damn, actually there are some mix of songs from like his old shit, but notice how there's only one from his Pluto Baby Pluto, one from Verse the World 2, and there's no hot song on here from the original Eternal Take. We got Lil Uzi vs. the World, Perfect Love Tape, Love is Rage. So we got a good mix in here, but Love is Rage 2 kills all. What do y'all think though? Uzi versus Carti, or not even Uzi versus Carti, because I think Carti right now, if you ask me, he's better than Uzi. But again, Uzi's prime higher than what Carti is currently. Does that make sense? Is that even a hot take? Because I don't think so. And then what did Whole Lotta Red do? Let's just Whole Lotta Red first week sales, because it sold like 100K, but how much did it do like in pure album sales? And received how much sell first day? 10 of the, oh shit. So Carti sold 100K equivalent units, and then 10 were pure album sales. So he sold 90K if we're talking streams versus Uzi's 107K. So factually with the data, Uzi did better with Love Is Rage 2, but again, quality doesn't always designate or isn't always, you know, predicated upon sales. But you feel me? Shit is crazy. So let's see. Love Is Rage 2 is just Uzi trying to be emo. I don't even think Love Is Rage 2 wasn't even like an emo album, if you ask me. Yes, it had EXO Tour Life, but the rest of the songs were kind of like, I don't even know what you would call them. Like, it was more pop, like Sauce It Up. It's just his own vibe. It's kind of like how nobody can replicate what Carti did with Whole Lotta Red with the vamp anthem. But again, as I mentioned at the very beginning of this discussion, Whole Lotta Red, more iconic. I don't know, man. We'll have to wait a couple years because again, it's 2017. It's been 5 years since Love Is Rage 2. We have recency bias for a Whole Lotta Red since we are still technically in the Whole Lotta Red era. Am I wrong? Whereas Love Is Rage 2, there's a reason Eternal Atake sold so much. It wasn't because of the quality. It was because there was so much hype after Love Is Rage 2, and even girls were loving that shit. Bella, my girl's friends, they don't even listen to hip hop, but they loved Uzi after Love Is Rage 2, and they wanted to go to Rolling Loud and go see him perform. I was at the one performance when Uzi like jumped off of like the tent or whatever. It was because of EXO Tour Life. Like that was just EXO Tour Life, I believe. EXO Tour Life peak Billboard. I'm sorry, but Carti by himself has never touched EXO Tour Life numbers. And EXO Tour Life wasn't even supposed to be a hit. It was literally, it peaked at number 7 in May 2017. So it was a SoundCloud exclusive and it just started popping off. So then Uzi was like, all right, let's drop this shit and use it as a single for Love Is Rage 2. Self-titled or Love Is Rage though? That's a good one. Self-titled will always have a place in my heart because that shit, when I first heard that album, because I wasn't really into Carti back then, and I legit listened to only that album for like a month straight. It just has some certain vibe to it where you're like just bouncing around like fucking a pogo stick on you're like Stan Marsh with cancerous balls. Your balls literally are injected with 100 cc's of fluid every time you listen to Carti's ad-libs on Self-Titled. And it was like when Carti first came in the game, pause. Like Magnolia drop. If we're being realistic here, yes, people know Carti, like the mainstream, from him being a vampire. Maybe TikTok picked up Sky and whatnot, but to this day, Magnolia, I believe, is still Playboi Carti's one of his most listened to songs ever. Granted, it's been out for a while. So Sky, look, Sky is his most popular song currently, but most listened to, Magnolia got 520 mil. So it's still the biggest song Carti ever had. And if it's not the hottest song on his catalog on Spotify, that means that Sky is still getting more streams. But this just means that there was a huge surge of streams at the very beginning of when it dropped. Sky ain't even all like that though. Yeah. My favorite songs on Whole Lotta Red are Jump Out the House. Jump Out the House. Jump Out the House. Probably No Sleep. Teen X. Yeah, those are probably my favorite. I know people hate on those songs too much. Actually, No Sleep I think is the least streamed song, so that just tells you about my taste. Maybe I just be I'm stupid, bro. Nobody fucks with my taste of music. And then Die Lit, I feel like when I first heard Die Lit, I was so excited after Self-Titled. I felt like a lot of the songs sounded the same the first listen, because that was when like the first synth type beats from Carti came out. But then it was another one of those things with a whole lot of red. I just had to get used to it. It also could have been because I believe that, let me check. So Die Lit had like 20 something songs on there. Okay, it had 19. In those days, I feel like that was a pretty long album, whereas Self-Titled, I believe, had less, 15. 4 songs is still a difference, you know, at least like 15 minutes or so. But a whole lot of red had 20 some. So I just don't know how we all of a sudden got into fucking 20 plus song albums. It's all because of the streaming era. You got to stack them streams because people ain't buying albums no more. It's hard to get that on paper for the labels, so they trying to finesse the game.